And Kyrie Irving just paid a $500,000 fine to the ADL and announced he will, quote, be re-educated by the head of the ADL. You know, that's what the gun grabbers, the Democratic Party groups that sued me in these kangaroo courts told me in mediation. They said, we want you to come out against the Second Amendment. We'll drop all this. Oh, I can sit in your lap and then you'll be nice to me, you oily, gross lawyers. I am happier and more alive than I've ever been, being under savage attack by the scum of the earth. You could put a gun to my head, you filth, and I wouldn't back down 1 inch.
Appears to be all just a little bit more talk from Alex Jones. He's still talking about how upset he is that he owes all this money, because he said and did a lot of things that force people to have to sue him for it. So really fast, on that billions, nearly $1 billion that he does owe, he's been ordered to pay nearly $1 billion in damages to the families after being sued for defamation because he claimed, again, that the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. But as you saw in that clip there, he says, you know what, they came to me with this deal. And the way he paused after he said, as if he just broke this revelation, everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't know that they did this. There was this deal. I want you guys to think if this makes any sense outside of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That there's this deal that the families of Sandy Hook folks came with, and their greasy, oily attorneys came to me and said, as long as you denounce the Second Amendment, then we'll drop the whole thing. Because what does that mean? Because Alex Jones is the mayor of the Second Amendment. If he says, yeah, F the Second Amendment, then suddenly all of these Republican congressmen who've been protecting it because of money and influence from the gun industries, because of that, as soon as Alex Jones says, you know what, F that whole Second Amendment, then suddenly everything will change in this country. Does he really think anyone's believing any of this? This is what he's saying is now the oily, greasy nature of the folks who then he has to pay, which he can't, or at least has to have some sort of consequence for, and he's mad about it. Does that make any sense to you?
No. Well, I think that the reality is Alex feels like there's nothing left to lose for him. I mean, why change courses now? What else is he gonna do? And he's been doing this for so long, and all of this was just so unnecessary. Like, he literally didn't have to ever touch Sandy Hook at all, and he would be 100%. Totally good right now. I mean, he really built up a really comfortable life for himself. And if he just never would have went off into the Sandy Hook territory, none of this would have happened. But his entire life has collapsed. It's not just that he's been ordered to pay every penny he has and ever will make, but his wife left him, his family don't mess with him. And I mean, he's just not in good standing with the public or anybody really. So again, what more is there to lose for the guy? There must be sleepless nights when he lies there and goes, damn it, but why did I have to say Sandy Hook? I was drifting off of other lies and conspiracy theories for years. What's the matter with me? Stupid, I can't believe you did that. As a matter of fact, he had a deposition back in 2019 where he did have to answer for many of the lies that he tells over and over and over again, because this isn't new for him, but he did have a different excuse as to why he does these things. I wanna make sure you guys remember that. Every time Alex Jones talks, like he is even now, this is what he says to people when he's in trouble about his approach to these lies and conspiracies that he pushes. Remember this?
And I've, I myself have, almost had like a form of psychosis back in the past where I basically thought everything was staged, even though I've now learned a lot of times things aren't staged. So, I think as a pundit and someone giving opinion, that, my opinions have been wrong, but they were never wrong consciously to hurt people.
You said false things about Sandy Hook because of a psychosis.
Well, I'm going to say,
correct?
Well, I'm just saying that the trauma of the media and the corporations lying so much, then everything begins, you don't trust anything anymore. Okay. Kind of like a child whose parents lie to them over and over again. Well, pretty soon they don't know what reality is. So long before these lawsuits, I said that in the past I thought everything was a conspiracy, and I would kind of get into that mass groupthink of the communities that were out there saying that. So now I see that it's more in the middle, and so that's where I stand.
That was in 2019. Do you think he really believes that? Or do you think he was just saying that because it was a deposition and he was in some hot water? Do you really think he believes that?
Man, look, so it's always hilarious with guys like this because, people have mental health issues. People go through things in life and there's reasonable explanations. Sometimes people may have missed something at work or, overslept and something. You talk to them like, man, I'm just out of balance. I got a lot going on right now. There's simple solutions, but these guys who bank executives like, oh man, I accidentally stole $300 million from the public. I don't know what went. I don't know how that happened. It's so ridiculous. But hey, what more does he have to lose? Like
it was an accounting error on my workers. It's always something else. It's not them. It's not them reporting money.